And welcome the fuck back to motherfucking DigiBros. Why won't my TV change inputs? Alright.
We're playing Shadow over Innsmouth.
Playing Shadow of the motherfucking Damned yet again on another episode. Hopefully this is an enjoyable Let's Play and not a total fucking clusterfuck. But we're having a lot of fun playing this game, so we're gonna keep playing this game.
Cool game.
What are these, like, light barrels?
Oh, let's keep track of where you've been. Cool.
Cool, you have boxes. I hate that I have to waste my ammo to open these boxes. Like,
yeah, that's weird.
maybe I can open them with the light shot. No.
Oh, well.
I guess it's like mitigating resources. It seems like they give me a fuckload of ammo anyways though, so
yeah.
like I got a ton of shots. They seem to be pretty liberal with the shots, and I think the booze is a little more important. I'm only playing this on normal mode. Usually with games like this, you always play on hard mode because that's going to give you the most like engagement with, like, you know, you're going to have the most scarce resources, so it's going to be hard and you're going to have fun because you're going to have to think about what you're doing. But we're doing a Let's Play, so we don't do hard mode when we do Let's Plays.
That's how you end up with hour and a half long Splatoon finales.
Yes, because you didn't upgrade your guns. It's okay, I can just go back to the finale and put, no upgrades challenge.
Yes, no upgrades challenge.
Be like, yeah, dude, Splatoon 2 no upgrades challenge, bro. It's super hard, bro. What do I do? Did they tell me what to do?
It said something about demon pubes, and then I started listening to you talk.
There's demon pubes. I gotta get through them pubes.
Yes.
Do I hit it with a torch?
You could. You could try.
That's not working.
And the light shot didn't work, I assume.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. That probably just means we can't leave the room until we beat a monster or something.
Yeah.
Alright, we're fighting shit. Hope, what do you got? What's your next? You had like a whole bunch of topics.
I have a couple topics. I guess I'll stay on the,
Whoa.
Since this is a spooky game, I'll stay on my spooky topics.
Yeah.
So, this is just kind of a leeway into, I guess, the spooky topic. And that is, we have a painting up in our house in the hallway just outside of the bathroom.
Oh, yes.
That Victor made when he was in college, and he used it in a short film called Inspiration. And the painting is supposed to be of the kanji for inspiration, right?
Because the whole film is making the painting, and I made the painting beforehand, and then like it felt like it just needed something, so yeah, I wanted to put the title of the film in the painting, but then I didn't want it to be English, so I just put the kanji in there. So it's supposed to be the kanji for the word inspiration.
Yes.
According to Google Translate.
According to Google Translate. Now, at the time, you were also taking... Was that before or after you took Japanese?
Yeah, I was in Japanese class.
Okay, so you were in Japanese class.
Yeah.
So I've always just assumed Victor knew what he was talking about because he was in Japanese class. He took more Japanese than I've ever taken, so I just figured, okay, cool. And so we've had this painting up in our house ever since he moved in. And, you know, I've completely, basically, it's there, and I don't think about it. But I had a friend over who I used to work with, and she is a authentic Nihongo no person.
Yeah.
Her name is Tamami, and
Nihon Jin.
she came over because I was watching her hamster, and she was coming to pick him up. And so she used the bathroom while she was here, and when she comes out, she, like, steps out and, like, is like, Hope? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, what is this painting you have in your hallway? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she points to the painting that Victor made with the inspiration on it. And I'm like, it says inspiration. Victor used it in a short film. And she's like, that doesn't say inspiration.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, it does. Like, Vic knows what he was doing. He was in, you know, a Japanese class at the time. And she was like, well, maybe if you're learning Japanese, that says inspiration. But if you're like if you're speaking native Japanese, that doesn't say inspiration. I'm like, oh, it's like, I don't really know English. Ghost something. And I'm like,
oh, man.
Ghost something? Are you sure? And she's like, yes. So I was like, I don't know, Tamami. I mean, I think it says inspiration. And she, like, Google translates it. And it does say inspiration according to Google Translate. So I'm like, see, it says inspiration. It's fine. And she's like, no, let me take a picture of it and I'm gonna put it on Facebook. And my other friends who like speak Japanese will help me explain to you what this really says. So she takes a picture of it and she puts it on Facebook. She leaves.
Oh,
And then
man.
she messages me a couple hours later and she's like, look at my Facebook. And I'm like, okay. And I go and I look at her Facebook and sure enough, she has like 6 or 7 people who are like, that doesn't say inspiration. That says something about the ability to see ghosts or having a sixth sense. And I was like, oh my god, we've had this fucking ghost painting up in our house for like a couple months and we haven't even known.
It's been in my house for years.
And apparently it's so creepy that a lot of the people who commented on it on Tamami's status were like, I wouldn't use your bathroom at night. It's
Oh my
too scary.
God. That's amazing.
So I've terrified a bunch of innocent native Japanese
Poor
people
superstitious Japanese
with our ghost
folk.
painting.
Yes.
It's pretty great. I do love that painting.
Pretty awesome.
But that leads me into a more generalized topic. I wanted to preface it with a cool story about our ghost painting. Oh damn, get fucked, guys! That just came out of the bodies there. And maybe it's not a great time because you're really focused on the game.
Maybe.
But I had a topic of the paranormal / seeing ghosts.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up something like that. Start off with what's your childhood experience with seeing ghosts? Have you seen? I'm gonna turn this game down because like it's I'm getting way too focused on the game.
Yeah, I know it's
But,
hard not to.
Do you have any ghost stories from your childhood? I legitimately don't know if you do or not.
So for me personally, I've never really had like a sixth sense or felt like I've seen spirits or been touched by anything. My mom does say that in the house I grew up in, before we moved in there, my uncle lived in there before we did, and before that an old lady lived there, and she actually died in there, and she died in my parents' bedroom.
Wow, that's fucked.
And so my mom did say
Oh,
that,
Jesus.
Woo, all right. That there have been times where she woke up in the middle of the night and she felt like someone had just been touching her arm.
Ugh.
But it wasn't anything like, she never felt like it was anything malicious. It was just like a light touch on her arm. And so she had always just thought that it was the ghost of the old lady who had died in our house. And that terrified me as a child because I don't care if it's a nice ghost.
Staying
I
a
don't
little
want
casual
it
with that,
me.
like, oh yeah, there's just a ghost that touches me at night.
I'm just like, no, it's too creepy.
At least it's not inappropriately touching her.
No. But I've always been, I've always been a horror boy, and so I was always easily spooked as a kid, and I would get paranoid about stuff like that, but nothing ever actually happened to me, except for what my mom had described.
My mom had actually, she used to live in like a spooky ghost house too, because she moved around a whole ton. And they were just always kind of living in wherever their mom could get. But they lived in like some kind of like old ass mansion because it was like super cheap because it was old and like beat up or whatever and like didn't have AC and shit. But I guess like that place was haunted and I don't remember. I remember having ghost stories, but I don't remember.
What about your haunted record?
Oh yeah, I've got the Charles Manson haunted record. Did we bring that here? Or did we? Okay, we have it here.
You left it, didn't you?
I think I left it because you were afraid of it.
Well, you made it sound so spooky.
Because my mom's, like, she was living with a guy in a house or apartment or something, and it had burned down, and everything in their house had, like, burnt and was completely destroyed, except for her Charles Manson record. Because Charles Manson, like, put out an album way the fuck back in the day, before he, was arrested and did all that crazy shit. He was a musician and he put out a record, and so my mom has that record, and it's the only thing that survived her house fire. And so it's still around, and it's like warped, and when you play it, it sounds warped because the record is literally heat warped, and so it sounds all spooky and cool. So I love that record.
So yeah, it's a haunted Charles Manson record.
Yeah, spooky Charles Manson record. Do I have any actual ghost stories from my childhood? Probably nothing real, nothing beyond like being generally spooked as a child,
Yeah, being spooked. I think is what I mostly did. This guy's cool.
Okay, I gotta hit his big red thing.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time being spooked as a kid, but nothing ever
Yeah.
actually happened to me. Definitely didn't help that I was a horror boy, and I consumed a bunch of horror media that terrified me and made
Yes.
me afraid of stupid shit.
That's why I didn't watch horror as a kid, because I didn't like being afraid of stupid shit.
Yeah, I was an idiot as a kid. There was one time where Animal Planet used to have this show called Animal X. And there was a time where I was spending the night at my grandparents' house, and it was like 1 a.m., and I watched an episode of Animal X about the Goat Man. And I was terrified of the Goat Man for like at least a good year.
Oh, no.
The Goat Man is now, I'm aware, the stupidest thing in the entire world.
I used to watch stuff like Mothman and shit.
But I was very terrified of the Goat Man when I was a kid. Especially because my grandparents' house was creepy to me.
God. Oh!
Oh!
Jesus Christ, how
Damn.
this dude is just going
This
ham
guy
on me. I
is
have no idea what the
fucking
fuck I'm supposed to
savage, dude.
do. Oh!
But as an adult, again, nothing has ever actually happened to me, but I have met multiple people
Oh,
who
there we
have,
go. Oh, I gotta get him with the light shot and then he's
yeah,
stunned.
hit him
and
with
I
the
can
light
hit him
shot
in
so
the
he's
back.
stunned, and then try and shoot his spot. Get his spot.
Ah.
His spot. But I have had multiple friends and acquaintances who have told me stories
Ghostly things.
of things that have happened, or things that, like, especially a lot of what I've heard are people who I've known who've had kids, and then their kids have seen weird shit or
Oh, of
told them
course.
weird shit.
Because kids always see weird shit.
Yeah, and that I'm always like, oh, no, thank you. But actually, one of my good friends has told me multiple stories about how since she was a child, she could see different kinds of spirits. And she's not the kind of person who would lie about that,
Like,
so
be
I'm very
full shit,
prone
yeah.
to believe her. So I certainly believe that things like that are out there. I just don't. I don't have the ability to see it, and I don't want the ability to see it.
Yeah. Fucking Jesus
I would
dick,
be too
man.
fucking terrified all the time.
Okay, I don't think I can hit the orb with the other gun. It wasn't registering the hits.
Yeah, I don't think you can hit the. Were you trying to shoot it with the light gun?
No, I was trying to shoot with the fucking big old gun.
Oh, maybe
Alright,
you need
got
to
him.
break it and then you can.
Got him. Was that it? Is he dead? Wow.
Damn.
That'll probably be like a normal enemy later in the game or something if it was that easy.
Well, he's really cool.
Yeah,
liked
he was okay.
neat
He was a
boy.
big, scary man. Alright. Is there phase 2 beginning now or something? That's some spooky shit going down.
She can cause earthquakes, so she's probably up to some shit.
Oh, fuck.
Welcome to hell.
What are one of the ghost stories of these people who you've known with ghost stories?
These people who have
I don't
known with
remember ghost stories.
Mostly she's only told me relatively vague stuff. She has told me one of the non-spooky, non-scary things that happened to her is her grandmother died a couple years ago, not too long ago. And she inherited her house, and so she had been in her house, like, moving out some old stuff, moving in some new stuff, because she was moving in there. And when she was there, she actually did see her grandmother. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's not scary, though. It was just like, hey, what's up? And she, like, doesn't treat it like it's any big thing, because apparently what she had told me is, like, when she was a kid, that's mostly when the bad, like, spooky things would happen to her. Like, she would see, like, the dark figures and shit like that. And she said that if she showed any signs of, like, realizing they were there, that's when things would get bad. So she learned to just, like, ignore them and act like they weren't there. And then eventually they stopped showing up, like, as often. Which I think is,
That just sounds
is
like insanity.
really interesting.
Yeah. Like the ghosts just don't... Ignore me!
Ignore me!
Ignore me!
Yes. So yeah, I guess if anyone has any kind of supernatural abilities or sixth sense,
Just,
and you see
ignore it,
negative things, it acts like they're not there. They don't. If you don't feed into, it's like bullies. If you don't feed into
It's like Santa Claus.
they go away.
Yeah.
But
You have to
she's
believe in Santa
she's told me
Claus.
some pretty creepy stories that happened to her when she was a kid. Of like these dark figures showing up and like being near her bed and shit.
Oh.
I was like, if I were you, I would have like literally died, but
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for surviving that.
Literally died. You would have been literally shaking.
Yeah, I mean, I can. That's the only situation I can imagine where I might
Jesus
actually
Christ.
literally be shaking, because I would be fucking terrified.
You ever seen any UFOs? Gotta think about that one.
I mean, sometimes you see weird shit in the sky, but then you gotta be like, well, is it just the government fucking around?
Yeah.
Especially because we live near a base.
But have you ever like as a kid seen something where you're like, that was a UFO?
Oh no.
I see.
I wasn't into aliens as a kid.
That you don't have to be into aliens to see a fucking UFO. Hope.
No. I wasn't looking. I was always just like, whatever.
I fucking saw a UFO once.
Did you
I'll
really?
never forget. Yes.
Did you really?
It was me and Conrad and Boyd all saw
shit.
it. We all saw it at the same time.
Alright, I want to hear a testament
Because
of the UFO.
this was I must have been 10 or 11 years old, and this was a couple years after we had seen Blood the Last Vampire. So what we used to do was we would go outside at night in where it was like in super dark places, and then we would see how far we could get into the darkness before like the Chiropterans, would come out.
I think I remember you telling me the Chiropteran game.
We were afraid of the Chiropterans in the night, so we'd go out and then like. We'd go out in the darkness, and then Boyd would be like, Chiropterans! We'd be like, Chiropterans! And we'd all run back.
So this is like
we know there are
scene
Chiropterans,
in the
but you're
village
having
where
fun.
they wander out into the darkness as far as they can
Yes.
before getting freaked out.
Exactly. You see how far you can get in the dark before you get freaked out or whatever. So we're playing that game one day, we're running up and down the street because there was like a street with like no lights or whatever and like a spooky house. So we'd run up there and be like, oh, you'll see how far you get until you get scared. And then one time we're doing that, and then we're coming back into the house, and it's at night, and this fucking super low-flying giant aircraft with all kinds of fucking lights on it goes right over our house. And it was only like a couple seconds, and it was just gone. And like, but it completely, to me, I don't know what the fuck it was now, but to me as a kid, it looked like a fucking giant UFO, Like it was no fucking little sparkle in the sky. It was a big fucking thing, super low, like tree level low.
Jesus.
Flew right over our house, and I was fucking convinced it was a UFO for the longest time. Still today, I don't know what it was, I don't know if I but I remember Connor and Boyd being there and seeing it too. Like, I don't know if this was something that fucking was in a vivid dream and now I still remember it or something, but goddamn, I remember it being a fucking UFO.
Did
like,
it make
I swear.
you shit your pants?
Yes, it literally made me shit my pants. It was like we were already running inside and like we were immediately afraid of it.
Yeah.
So like we didn't stick around to watch it or see where it went, it was just like, it was over.
Right.
Fuck. This fucking game, man, is intense.
I
Shit.
had no idea that you had seen a UFO.
Yeah, it was the one and only time.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, most people probably don't even get a one time.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
And then, like, I became convinced at the time because we lived in a neighborhood, and then like there was a patch of woods kind of behind the school that was at the end of the neighborhood, and like, oh fuck, I died. Oh shit. There was a patch of woods behind the school, and we would go through the neighborhood, and then we'd go and we'd fuck around in the woods, and there were like little paths through where people like dug out bike ramps and stuff, like little hills and stuff, but we'd fuck around in the woods, and to us it seemed like this giant woods when in reality it was just like some fucking patch of grass between two roads, but I was convinced that the government was like doing shit in those woods, and that's where the alien came from, and like there were aliens in the woods and shit. So every time we went to the woods I was like kind of creeped out, and we'd go there like once a week or so. But yeah, that was my UFO story.
But I'm guessing you never found an alien.
Yeah, I never saw another UFO or found an alien. I've never seen anything like it again.
That's crazy.
I'm assuming it was just a low-flying aircraft or something, It was in, like, Newport News, so I'm sure there's military shit going on.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's why I always gotta be like, well, is the government doing some weird shit? Because
But I was, like, 10, so I wouldn't have known that at all,
Yeah. No.
And it
and
was
I mean,
at
who
night,
knows?
so
Maybe
you
it's
see
not
a bunch
the government.
of low-flying flashing lights, but fuck, man, it
Maybe
looked like a
it
UFO.
Is.
Alright, we're playing the game.
That's,
I talked about the UFO.
That's the other thing that's always kind of been dumb to me about aliens, is that they're always, like, depicted as being vaguely humanoid.
Yeah.
And if it's like, dude, the universe is fucking huge. You really think that creatures out in the universe, all of them are humanoid. Really,
I have my
really?
own theory behind that, because if humans are like the most evolved things on Earth, like, first of all, Earth had to be in like an extremely specific spot and have extremely specific conditions in order to sustain life.
Yeah.
So you could assume if there's another planet that sustains life, it could, like, yeah, you have to suspend your imagination a little bit and think of it from like a very logical way, but like if Earth had to have such specific conditions to sustain life, then if there's life on other planets, you have to assume that they're within the same kind of conditions.
Well,
So if it's a planet with extremely similar conditions so that it could have water and everything, then evolution could have taken its course.
there are some
in an
things
extremely
that don't
similar
need
way.
the same conditions as we do to
Yeah.
survive, though.
But from our understanding of how life forms, it has to form around water and sunlight and those certain things. And we don't have a basis for understanding life that isn't formed that way. So if we restrict that to what we understand, then the conditions to sustain life somewhere else would have to be like almost exactly the same, and then you could assume that evolution could have happened almost exactly the same. If you're getting to the point of like space travel, then it could have been that the species evolved in an extremely specific way to be like basically the exact same as humanity.
But then why wouldn't they just look exactly like us? Why would they be little,
That's what I'm
little
saying.
blobby gray
What
dudes?
if they do look exactly like us? What if they aren't even blobby gray dudes? Or what if the conditions are just so subtle that it's like a very slight mutation? But then what would be more realistic, in my opinion, is that they're completely fucking different in every possible conceivable way, you know?
That would make more sense to me. Because, like,
Yeah.
why...
Like,
It makes
their
no
conditions
sense.
of life would have been dramatically different from ours and would have
Yes.
come out of something completely, like, unknown and different, you know? Maybe there's elements that we haven't discovered or understand that, like, would have formed in a certain way and done different things. I don't know. I'm not a science boy, and I'm coming up with this off the cuff, so I haven't
It's
thought about it
rolling
all
off
the way
the cuff.
through.
Oh.
But those are sort of my ideas
didn't
on what
follow
aliens could be
those.
like. Dang, yeah, he just killed the boy. Why can't I just kill the boy?
Because you're a good guy.
Yeah, I guess I can't just kill demon doors.
No.
I'm too much of a little cuck. Cool. Yeah, I got a heart thing. Neat. Boop 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 doo doo doo. This game is dope, man.
But yeah,
enjoying
it's
it.
boring to imagine that aliens look just like people. Why would they
Yeah.
look just like us? It makes no sense.
They could be dramatically different.
They should look
They probably
different. They evolved in a different environment than we did.
like it's hard to you can't imagine aliens that don't have any sort of grounds in some sort of art we've seen before. Like you can imagine with tentacles and shit, but it's like why would they have tentacles? Why would they look anything like anything we can comprehend? You know,
It's alien from your Japanese anime.
it should look like something that is fucking completely.
I mean, the definition of
otherworldly.
alien is something that you can't really comprehend.
Exactly.
So, you would think.
That's what I think Conrad's talked about, or someone talking about how having art of Lovecraftian monsters kind of defeats the point.
Because it's supposed to be an
Yeah.
unimaginable
They're
horror.
supposed to be incomprehensible. So if you draw it, then it's not
Then you've
incomprehensible.
comprehended it.
Like, you can't actually depict those through drawing or, you know, art in that sense. They have to be described. And described as unimaginable. Because you can't there are not words that can comprehend the monstrosities.
Exactly.
So that's something we miss out on in, Lovecraft media.
Lovecraft media.
Which is why they're meant to be obscured and not really seen in their full.
I think that's part of why Cthulhu has no impact now, because it's
Yeah.
been made so, like...
Yeah,
It's
there
such a
is an image of
commodity.
Cthulhu.
It's
like,
just
you
like,
know what he
oh,
is.
there's cute little Cthulhu plushes, and you can put a Cthulhu beanie on your
Yeah.
baby, and Cthulhu.
Gay.
And you're like,
Poor Cthulhu. He became the poster child. And was steadily ruined. How many minutes are we at on this episode?
I started the timer late,
Oh.
so I don't really know.
This is 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's been
going
more
on for
than
a while.
5 minutes.
We'll get to the end of this cutscene and I'll go check.
Okay.
Because I think something's going to go down.
Green blood.
Cool, it's like Splatoon.
Yes, it's just like Splatoon.
Oh, God. Oh. That was a vomity burp.
Ew.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the beer, man.
Yeah, beer is bad. That was grotesque. Oh god, it's her head.
Yeah.
Oh! He said the Spanish word.
He sure did.
Alright, guys. First time ever on Digibros, we're gonna stop and watch the cutscenes because we're interested in the story, and you guys should be too.
Sorry.
This is cool
this
shit.
This super. I want to know what's going on.
I'm probably gonna have to fight her.
Oh, that's super neat.
Jesus. Dick jokes.
Bum, 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 bum.
What more do you need than grotesque horror and dick jokes? Like, it's amazing. No.
No shit.
Oh.
Alright, what weird shit's gonna.
Oh! It's that guy!
Yeah. It's that boy.
Oh!
I think that's our boss.
He's got sword arms and shit, and he's all fucked up. This guy's not having a good day.
No.
Oh my jeebus.
Oh, what the shit?
Nah.
These twisted fucks.
Damn it all to hell. Fuck this pendejo.
Oh.
Shoot that gun. Oh god, no. We're turning into a nerd Let's Play couple. I made a quip and then I went, "Nyeh." And then we listened. It was gay.
I honestly didn't even register your quip because I was watching the cutscene.
Yes. Alright, I'm gonna pause
Because I was
it.
genuinely interested in what was going on with this monster.
I think this is gonna be a next time on Digibros. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this game. Yeah, 26 minutes. That's good.
Oh, okay.
We're done talking about ghosts and UFOs, right?
Ghosts.
Basically.
The final frontier.